So, like I said, we're going to be sharing our own tips that we personally have implemented into our lives and that I also like to give to my clients. So, the number one tip that I think is important, no matter what your goals are, no matter what you do for work, is to stay hydrated. Okay. The summertime, because of the excessive heat, if you're going to be out all day, whether you're at the beach, at a park, whatever the case may be, make sure you bring your water with you or make sure wherever you're going to be at, they have water that can be purchased because your body does exert more energy plus the heat on top of it. You don't want to overheat or, pass out. There was a race that was over the weekend, and unfortunately, quite a few people passed out. One person even passed away. And it's because, in these extreme heat situations, it's to be taken very seriously and to really make sure you're keeping yourself hydrated. Have some coconut water too to get those extra electrolytes in to make sure that you are keeping your body in a state where it can get through whatever you're doing and you're not burning yourself out.
Yeah, and also that's the funny thing that you said coconut water because I'm like addicted to coconut water now. And trying to get coconut water that doesn't have extra sugar in it, like try to get just the ones that have coconut water in it because it's so,
Hmm.
especially with like crushed ice. It's like it's so refreshing. And I think that as a kid, like I don't know if I'm the only one. I'm probably not the only one, but like as a kid, definitely neglected like me drinking water a lot. And
Oh
my parents
yeah.
always remind me like drink your water, drink your water. And I'm like, why? Like why do I have to drink water? And then you get older and you're just like, wow, like water has so many benefits. Like you could be out in the sun all day. And I've noticed when I've been out in the sun all day that I've had like a headache and I'm like, I either have a
Hmm.
too much sun or I have a headache from like not having enough water. And it's just like such a game changer of how water can really affect you like physically and mentally. So
Hmm.
me staying hydrated is a plus. And if you want to have some salsa water, like knock yourself out. But
A
definitely
little razzle dazzle.
sparkle to your life. But yeah, definitely like staying hydrated is super key. Like not only with water, but also with like your snacks and stuff. Like
Hmm.
have fruits, have a lot of like vegetables, like have things that will refresh you, so that you can stay away from like the processed stuff, but that you'll also like get that hydration in.
Hmm. And one thing that you mentioned, which is important, is to, like you said, to make sure the either the coconut water that you're having isn't, extremely saturated in sugar. And honestly, this is something that unfortunately we have to talk about, but check the ingredients of your water because some water is literally, depending on the brand, there's literally fillers in the water to dehydrate the body
What have,
because they want you to buy more water.
what have we come to? Like, I don't even want
Yeah.
to get a conversation of why we even need to be buying water in the first place. Like, whatever, that's for a different day. But like
Yep.
in water, like
Trust me, I that is something that I recently, I guess over the last year, was brought to my attention. I'm just like, even in water, they're trying to sneak in ingredients that can be harmful to us because you think you're drinking water, but you're not getting the hydration out of it. Like you ever, there's certain waters that you drink and it's true. You're just like, why is my mouth still dry? And it's because that's literally how it's designed. So be careful. Even with seltzer water, there's a lot of artificial flavorings and sweeteners that are snuck into those things. So if you're not being cautious, definitely keep on the out on the look for that. And I know, like you said, when I was a kid, water was definitely not something that I prioritized.
right.
And I suffered because I remember one time I literally was dehydrated. I was out in the city. I had no idea what was wrong with me, and your girl was dehydrated. Had to go to the hospital and get a whole IV, which was not fun. So do your due diligence and get ahead of it. And even if you struggle with just drinking plain water, add some lemon to it, add some cucumber. There's a lot of really clean hydration mixes now. I can definitely share some recommendations if you would like some clean sources for that so that you still can get the hydration and you're still having some kind of flavoring if that is something that you struggle with. And like you also mentioned, Kat, refreshing foods was also something that was on my list. So like you said, have your fruits, your coconut, if you like fresh coconut, mangoes, cucumbers, leafy greens, watermelon, like a lot of those fruits and vegetables that are going to help to keep your body hydrated, keep your skin hydrated, so that you can have fun and not have to be falling out while you're trying to have a fun day at the water park.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, if you now that we have been having experience with like um taking care of your health and like watching what you eat and stuff like that, like you start to second guess it whenever you're feeling hungry or whenever you're feeling like have a headache and stuff. You're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
am I hungry or am I thirsty? Like, or like, do I have a headache from like just like stress, or do I need to drink some water? So it's super important that you stay hydrated. And I'm telling you, like, having water in your system will literally make or break like your time. Like
Mm-hmm.
if you want to just like have fun for a day and you want to have a day out, like, be prepared. Like, have your water, have your snacks, like, make sure that you are eating and drinking, and even if like let's say you go out for like drinks and stuff, like, make sure you have water, because there's
Mm-hmm.
more like dangerous mix than having too much alcohol and being in too much sun. Like, you will dehydrate quickly, especially if the drinks that you're having have a lot of sugar. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure drinking water. Like, that is going to literally save your life,
Yep.
especially.
That is so true. And then another tip that I have really like it's become like almost like second nature to me is whenever I leave the house, even if I'm going out for an hour or if I'm going out for 6 hours, your girl packs snacks, okay? And I cannot tell you how much that has helped me and also those that are around me because they benefit from the snacks that I pack. But it just makes me feel one, like prepared, right? Like I don't feel like I'm gonna be stranded. And because you're going to be out in the heat, like if you are out either at the park or at the beach all day, you know, you're not really going to be able to just like pick up and go and like get something. So having snacks that are going to keep you satisfied, that are going to be higher in protein, that are going to be more refreshing, like some nice fruits and vegetables, really help you to make your day go better. You get to enjoy more because when you're not starving, looking for food options, you don't have to settle for less if there's options where you're at that are like are things that you typically wouldn't eat and you don't want to eat, but you
Right.
feel like you have to because that's all that's there. It really makes a difference. And also, even if depending what you're doing, pack a lunch or pack, you know, something of a little bit of a meal. I find that that has made my life so much easier when I go out and I like having, because me, I'm a creature of habit. So I like having the things that I enjoy, that I'm used to, you know, with me. And it makes things easier. And also, it doesn't, like I said, doesn't cause you any stress. And it's really not like being particular. Like I posted my snacks that I packed over the weekend to go to the beach. And someone's like, wow, you're so disciplined. Like you're so, I love how strict you are. And I'm like, that's not being strict. That's literally just me bringing the things that I enjoy with me because that's how I like to feed my body. Because I know if I eat something that, first of all, beach food is usually not good. I don't want to have no saturated glizzy that's going to make me sick, okay? So I'm just going to have my snacks with me, okay? And not have to be running to the bathroom. And like, that's just how I like to live my life. You know what I mean? Like, I just
Yeah.
rather make sure I'm feeling good, especially if you are out in the beach, you are out in the sun. Like, I don't want to feel heavy or weighed down or sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it can like interrupt like your whole day. And who wants to do
Exactly.
have fun? You want to be out and you want to just prepare yourself to have fun. And the funny thing that you said that is about you packing like your snacks for the beach is like, you already had those snacks at home. So if you already have those snacks at home and that's something that you already like to eat and they're like to go, then whenever you're packing for the beach, you could just be like, okay, let me just bring some of this. Now it's different if you had like a whole bunch of processed food at home, then you had to really decide like, okay, like, what am I going to bring? You either going to bring what you have, which is not the best, or
Mm-hmm.
to forego that and pick up something at the beach, which probably wouldn't be the best anyway. So the most important thing to do is to really just stay prepared. Like, just be prepared. Is whenever, especially if you're going to be going out like for a longer time, if you're going to be going out and you're going to be in the sun a lot of the time, like, just be prepared. Like, prepare your groceries either earlier in the week or the day before, and make sure that you have everything on hand. And along with that, I don't know why I like my mind is going like ping pong. Um, like, also, not only that, but like, skincare is like very important when you are going to be in the sun all day. Like, wear your sunscreen. Please
Yes.
wear your sunscreen. I definitely, that was one of the other things that I definitely neglected as a child and neglected in my teen years and in my young 20 years. But like, as I'm getting older and not getting any younger, my skin is not getting any younger. So you have to make sure that you protect it, especially for those who have, not only for those who have like troubled skin, but especially for those who have troubled skin, because it can get worse if it's
Mm-hmm.
exposed to a lot of sun, and you can get sun damage, and a lot of that is irreversible. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure that you wear sunscreen. And so I saw this post, I believe it was last week, I don't know, and it was on sunscreen and like the myths around
Mm-hmm.
sunscreen. And it's like, if anything is more than like SPF like 50, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, don't even don't
Yeah.
waste, because to be honest, like the amount of the number on the sunscreen is the duration that it lasts in the sun, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if it's like SPF 50, that's like, okay, you have an hour until you have to like reapply. Like, or you have an hour until you have to like, and then it might be sooner if you're in the water. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to really be mindful of the type of sunscreen you're buying, but definitely wear sunscreen, please.
Yeah, definitely. And also, it doesn't matter if you're the fairest of the fairest or the deepest of the deepest. Everyone needs sunscreen, especially if you are going to be out in the sun extended periods. Of course, your face, your neck, you want to keep those extra young, especially for our ladies, but don't forget your body. I made
Mm-hmm.
that mistake over the weekend. I did not reapply to my back, and your girl is burnt right now.
Ooh,
So, I'm just here to try to help you. And also something too, because I'm the ingredients person, make sure the ingredients in your sunscreen are natural, mineral based, and that it's very minimal into what you're putting on because
yeah,
I think it was last year there was like a whole list of sunscreens that were actually recalled because they had carcinogens, which are chemicals that cause cancer in them. So you want to make sure you're combating,
yeah.
skin cancer and making sure you're not putting things that are going to make your skin or your body even more in a compromised state. So make sure you're finding also sunscreens that are going to get the job done, but also going to be good for your skin. And of course, if you need recommendations, hit your girl up. I got you.
Yeah, and I also think that because obviously my brain is all over the place, you're used to this. I also think that another tip that we can give for healthy, oh, it's a bird outside.
I thought you was about to square up. I'm like, who's there?
What is happening? Um, but another tip that we can give for like a healthy summer is, now is the time that you can take your workouts outside. So you can do
Yes.
side activities. You don't have to stay cooped up in the house. Obviously, you want to do it in a safe way. So if it's like a heat wave outside, you don't want to be doing anything intense or anything like that because you don't want to have any heat exhaustion. And
Mm-hmm.
take care of your pets. Like, please. If it is too hot for you to walk on the ground barefoot, it's too hot for your dog. Like,
Mm-hmm.
please take care of your pets because they need exercise. Like, but come on, like
Mm-hmm.
they don't need to get their little paws burnt either, or put little booties on them. But anyway, I digress. But this is the time where you can take advantage of like outdoor workouts. And if you want to go biking, if you want to do like outdoor activities like volleyball, or even running or kayaking, whatever you like to do outside, this is a great time for that. So if there's any activities in your area or anything that you've been wanting to do and it's just been too cold, now is the perfect time to do that. I know
Mm-hmm.
a lot of states have different like activities that they set up that's outside purposely so people can get their movement outside, or even if it's just a walk. Like, walks have definitely helped me. So if you could just take a walk for like 20-30 minutes, that'll be great. Like, that's a good movement for your body, and it's also good vitamin D that you can get outside.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my tips as well, especially because we have longer hours of sun now. Really take the time that you have to get out in the sun. Direct sunlight on our bodies, on our eyes, really does help to boost our energy. And it also helps us to sleep better. A lot of people may not be aware, but having vitamin D, having that sunlight actually produces melatonin in our body. So you're going to get more energy throughout the day, and you're also going to get more restful sleep at night if you are spending time to either go out, whether it's for a workout, whether it's just to like sit on the grass and read a book, listen to some music, look at the beach, like look at the water, whatever it is that you like to do, take advantage, especially for us that live, in like the northern eastern states that we really don't get to do this that often because we do have the seasons. Really enjoy this time outdoors. Do it in a way that is enjoyable for you, but also in a safe way.
Exactly. And oh man, you just said something. I had a brain fart. It's okay. You can go see your tip because I definitely just like went blank.
So another tip that I actually have been doing my best to put into practice as of lately is taking cooler slash cold showers. So although I'm a person that runs warm, I don't like cold water when I take a shower. I'm a hot, like burn your fingertips off shower type of girl normally.
Be an air fryer.
But yeah, but I've recently been trying to, find other, things to kind of help, with inflammation and stuff in my body. And so cold showers are great for that. They really do, of course, in the morning. It boosts your energy. It really does help to calm your muscles down. It reduces inflammation in the body. Right now, there's a trend going around that our girls are like dipping their face just in like a bowl of ice water. That same concept applies to your body. So, I'm doing very small doses at the moment and I'm working my way up because it can be shocking. So if that's something that you can try or attempt, do it, especially now because it is going to be warmer.
Yeah.
I will say it's super tough initially, but you feel refreshed and like rejuvenated after. I did that once this year and it was only because my hot water wasn't working. I wasn't going to boil any hot water. That is the first time that I attempted it, Stacey. So I agree, and it pushed me out my comfort zone. Okay, it pushed me out my comfort
Oh,
zone,
I have to say that.
and I was like, I didn't die. Did I like it? No, but it's growing on me slowly. Will this be something I continue into the fall and winter? Probably not. But while it's warm out, I'm gonna try my best to introduce that into my routine.
I'm gonna say that. Like that's the only time that I've done that is when I've taken a shower after Terrell because he uses water.
You're like,
I'm just like, there's nothing left. So I'm just like,
here we
but
are.
I'm doing it because I didn't expect it. So I'll go in there and I'll just be like, I'm so cold. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna pray about that because
Yes, put it
um,
into prayer.
mm,
I will say the easiest way that I've approached it is I do like my regular routine, right? My warmer water.
yeah,
And then the last like few minutes I'll like how you would like when I wash my hair, I like to give my hair a
yes,
cold rinse. So I
right, right.
kind of apply the same thing to when I'm in the shower. So like the last few minutes I'll use cooler water to really like get
Okay.
that feeling, but eventually I'm just trying to like you know, start it that way. It's like a game of double dutch, but it's
I
like I
can
said,
do
it's
the cold like burst. I could
yeah,
do that.
yeah, work your way into it. Like I'm not here for like the cold turkey thing because that just doesn't work for me.
Mm,
But I will say like I feel so refreshed and rejuvenated after,
yeah,
especially a day like you spent out in the sun, like
yeah.
doing that after a day of being hot and sweaty. It feels really good. So that could be also something that you can introduce into your routine. It is a really good holistic way to like reduce inflammation and also boost your energy.
Yeah, and I also think that like not even like not for nothing because now that you mentioned like cold water, like not for nothing, but like I definitely think that you have to just be careful with the amount of like heat and electricity that you're using. Like be
True.
very be very like use heat and electricity very not heat, sorry. Your AC and I was like what are we talking about? Electricity, use it very sparingly. Only when like you're in the room, only when like you're in the house, things like that because
Hmm.
as a New Yorker, as Bianca knows, like we have faced some serious blackouts, and the worst thing that you can be is like in the middle of a heat wave, not having any cold water, and your AC not working, and you like having heat exhaustion
Hmm.
because you weren't prepared. So it's important to always have good ingredient water or filter. Hey, do you?
Yeah.
Um, I've also, now that you had mentioned the fruit and like the refreshing like types of water,
Hmm.
I've started to fill a pitcher of lemon water in my fridge along with like the regular filtered water that I have, just so that you can have like another option. So definitely like making sure that you're prepared, making sure that you go to like the supermarket and get those things in advance. Like if you know this weekend is going to be like a hot for example, and you know that you're going to want to go outside and do a lot of things, like go now to the
Mm-hmm.
market and stock up and get all of that, like so that you be prepared. So like let's say last minute somebody invites you to do something, you don't have to be struggling and having anxiety about what to pack and what to prepare because you already have it.
Yep, that's very true. And that's actually goes in line with another tip that I had. Something that I think is really fun and I personally don't get to do enough because of like where we live in, in the city, is to go to local markets, like find a local like farmers market or a little pop-up market and like really just enjoy being outside, seeing the produce. That's a great way also to eat seasonally
Yes,
that you can really find out what's there, what are the options, find out different things about foods that you probably didn't know, and support small businesses that could use the support. And also, eating seasonally is really good for our gut. It really does help to promote better digestion and also to diversify our microbiome. So, I think that's something that is not only fun and can be an activity, but also will help you to promote healthier habits throughout the summer.
absolutely, absolutely. And not only with like physical habits, but it will also help you mentally. Like just
Mm-hmm.
right, being like off, like unplugging, like disconnecting and being outside in nature and really enjoying what God has blessed us with, like being out
Mm-hmm.
enjoying like creation, just being out in the park, being out on the beach, like even being honestly, like even being around produce outside, like you still feel a sense of like nature, you still feel a sense of like calmness and peace. And so that's super important for your mental health. And another thing that I was going to mention regarding mental health is to make sure that you are scheduling more time for you, because a healthy girl summer isn't only physical, a healthy girl summer is
Mm-hmm.
mental. So make sure you're scheduling a lot of time for you. Those of y'all that haven't taken your PTO, take it. You don't need a reason to take it. You could just take it and make sure that you're getting those mental health day in. You don't want to be burned out and hot in the summer. You do not. That is
Okay.
a recipe for disaster. So you do not want to be burned out in the heat, and you don't want to be stuck at work. I know there's going to be times where you are stuck at work, but you don't want to be stuck at work when you really didn't want to be there. If you have that PTO, take it. You don't need a reason to. So just take it and really you would use that time to do something that you really want to do. If you want to just go to the park and have a mental health walk, do that. If you want to spend more time with your family or your dog, do that. Like there shouldn't be a reason behind it. And honestly, taking days off and being unplugged and disconnected really will help you to feel better, and they'll definitely
Mm-hmm.
benefit your health as well.
Yeah, and another, on the line of being conscious of our mental health, something that is important all year round, but I feel like is specifically a little bit harder in the warmer months because there's more like social events, is,
Yeah,
setting those boundaries.
yes.
If you're, going somewhere, you're having a social gathering or going to one, and you have particular, goals or like things that you're working on, maybe you want to drink less, maybe you do want to focus on what you're eating a little bit more, like ahead of time, let your friends know, let your loved ones know that these are your boundaries for them to respect ahead of time so that when you get there, there's a little bit less anxiety. And whether they understand or they're on board, that's on them. It's really to set your boundary, you're protecting yourself, and
Hmm.
make sure when you're saying these things, you're not saying it like it's a question. You're saying it like it's a fact, and that these are the things that you want to avoid. These are the things that you're trying to do for yourself, and that whether they respect them or not, that's how you feel. Because I know for some it can be a little bit more of an extra anxiety when you are going to places and there is a lot of that you can't control, but there's
Yeah.
still a lot that you can control. And so I think it's important ahead of time setting those boundaries, still allowing yourself to enjoy yourself, but within what you find enjoyable, not what everyone else, what's going on outside? I don't know. Not what everyone else finds as enjoyable. And if someone tells you they're not drinking, you don't need a follow-up question. Say,
That's it.
okay, would you like some water? Offer them a mocktail, whatever it is. Don't pry into it. And if someone says they don't want to eat something, leave it as is. Respect people's boundaries because they may not even want to share with you why, but that's something that you don't really know what they might be going through. So Be respectful of other people's boundaries, and also don't be afraid to set yours, whether you think it's popular opinion or not.
I mean, period. Like I'm not drinking. That's it. Period. Like there should be no explanation for that. And I feel like it's so sad that people feel like they have to explain themselves only because society has like pressured them to do that. But that's neither here nor there. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so along with that, like a lot, and on the other hand of that, so yes, definitely set those boundaries, and within those boundaries, like don't be afraid to try something new. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
been cooped up in the house for what, almost 3 years now because of this like Panera bread. So we've been like cooped up, and the only thing that is stopping you from like going out to do something is like having something to do. Literally go out, try something new. If it's something that you haven't tried before, don't be afraid to do that, because you don't want to be this maybe goes along the lines of like preserving your mental health. Like of course you don't want to be forced into a situation that you clearly are going to be too anxious of, or you clearly are going to be like crossing your boundaries with. No,
Mm-hmm.
but of course you want to try something new that will put you a little out of your comfort zone so that you can like try new experiences. It's the summer and a lot of people are having different activities. So if it's something that you've never done before, like try it out. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it again. So
Mm-hmm.
just try it out and don't be afraid to. Like this can be the summer that maybe you have more time to do things for you, and so maybe you want to go on a solo date. Like maybe you want to take yourself out somewhere. Maybe you want to try different activities, like a different type of workout, or maybe try different foods. Like try something new, and that will help not only broaden your experience, but that'll also help you later on. Like you can reflect on those experiences and really like figure out like what exactly you can maybe like refigure out those boundaries that you have and stuff, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. And probably my last but most important tip for a healthy summer, a healthy girl lifestyle in general is to love the body that you're in.
I knew
Just
you.
because, you know, I was going to say that. Just because it's summer, it doesn't mean you have to be super lean. It doesn't mean that you have to have abs. It doesn't mean you have to have anything, okay? However your body is now, love it. It is a body that you're in, okay? You cannot change it overnight. You cannot do anything about it. So learn to love your body as is. And if there's things that you want to work on, there's things that you want to incorporate, you want to bring healthier habits into your life, I love that for you. I encourage it. However, don't do it because you're trying to shrink yourself. Do
Right.
it because you're trying to enhance your life, because you're trying to add things to it, because you're trying to live longer, because you're trying to combat generational diseases. Do it for those reasons and not because of you want to look like someone else, or someone else told you that you need to join this challenge, or you need to do this cleanse, or you need to look this way. Because no, half of these people are photoshopping, the other half are posing, sucking everything in, and the other half are lying to you, okay?
Absolutely.
So please, that's like my number one tip, whether it's summer, fall, winter, spring, whatever. Love the body that you're in now as is, because whether you're at the weight now or you're 20 pounds less, if you don't love yourself now, you're not going to love yourself just because you lost 20 pounds.
Absolutely. And don't feel ashamed to look back and really reflect on where you've been and where you are now. Like, don't feel ashamed to do that. There's so much pressure online right now because it's going to be the summer, and people in the fitness industry are taking advantage of that. So they are trying to pressure people that are easily influenced to try to change themselves when you don't need to change yourself. You can stay the person that you are, or you can improve the person that you are, but you don't need to change who you are. All you
Mm-hmm.
have to do is just try to incorporate more fruits and vegetables in your diet, try to move your body more, and love your body enough to do that. If you love your body enough and you just like, you know what, I love myself and I want to be healthier, I want to feel better. Like don't focus on the number on the scale, don't focus on what somebody else looks like focus on how you're feeling. And once if you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling, I was like, if you're feeling better and you're feeling great, then that's what matters. Like it's so it can be so debilitating to focus on a number. It can be so debilitating like when you're not fitting in the clothes that you used to fit in. But if you are like, let's say you're not fitting in clothes that you used to fit in before. First of
Mm-hmm.
all, as a woman, our bodies change anyway, so whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But but you're feeling good. Like if you're feeling good inside, that's what matters. If you know that you are incorporating more whole foods, you're staying hydrated, you're moving your body, that's what matters. So focus on what matters and don't allow the societal pressure and the marketing companies influence you to change yourself or to change how you look or to drink a shake or to join a challenge or anything like that, because you are beautiful the way that you are. So
Yeah, and health is so much more than just calories or a number on a scale. So if there's things that you want to change because you know that the habits that you have right now are not the healthiest, then like I said, I encourage that. If you need to seek help, do that, but make sure it's not rooted in you comparing yourself or you feeling like you need to look a certain way in order to wear certain things this summer, okay? So
absolutely.
that like I said, that was probably the most important tip out of all the ones we shared, because I know there's so much pressure right now, and it's inevitable. But if you need to unplug, if you need to unfollow, if you need to do anything to remove those kinds of messages from your feed, from your mainstream like media that you consume, do that because it's only going to make things more difficult for you, and it's really just going to start creating things and thoughts in your head that you may not have even had, but because you're seeing so many things, your mind starts to, go down the rabbit hole. So make sure that you're protecting your peace. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, not only through this season, but throughout the year, because these habits, these tips that we gave, they're not just things that are for short term. These are to help you to build sustainable long-term habits so that you can have the lifestyle that you want and that's going to work for you down the road.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you, everyone that tuned in live with us. We always enjoy your contributions, your feedback, all the support, and we are excited to see you guys again next week. So, everyone, have a safe and happy long weekend, and we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.